Hey, it's Rory Swensen here, candidate for mayor of Coalville, and I'm in a different environment right now. It's October 7th, and I'm actually up in the Uintas, and we're doing a little bit of hunting, and I have some time, and I've been thinking a lot while I've been out here. This race for mayor of Coalville this year it's an important one because we're facing a lot of challenges in the city. Challenges with an overdeveloped county that is spilling into our valley. And, we have a lot of issues around growth and a lot of controversy around growth. We want to protect the things that we love about Coalville. And to do so, we have a couple of choices to make. My opponent on the council currently, and with the council's behavior of the past few years, they're very anti-development. The decisions that are being made, the lawsuits, the cost to the city, both in direct legal costs and in opportunity costs that has resulted from that, it concerns me, and I think it should concern every resident of Coalville. I never thought I would be running for this office. Yes, I'm politically active. I like to be behind the scenes. But what I saw earlier this year, especially, with what I would call a blatant power grab, an attempt to redefine the government that serves Coalville because of personal issues and because of personal philosophies with regard to development, was wholly inappropriate. And let me explain that from my perspective. I've always loved history. I have loved studying not only our history but our government. And I believe in the separation of powers. I believe that there is a process that we must respect, that we must comply with in order to retain the trust of the citizens, and so that our government is a legitimate government. And when I saw the attempts to redefine that for personal reasons and for power, it ignited something in me. And I spoke out along with a lot of other citizens of Coalville, and we made public comment, and we brought some heat to a council that I see right now as disregarding proper processes, disregarding the element of respect for the office that you hold and also the offices that you don't hold. And that bothers me a lot. It's why I spoke out, it's why others spoke out, and it's why I ultimately decided to run for mayor. I'm not here to promise any special projects. I'm not here to say that I will deny any annexations or any development. And honestly, the mayor, that's not really the mayor's job. That's up to the council. But I do think that the mayor can set the tone. And the tone that we need right now in Coalville is one of competence. It is one of, I would say, feistiness. I would say it's one that we need to ensure that anybody coming into our valley to develop understands that we are not a simple people. We are not unsophisticated. We may be rural, yes, and we love that rural nature. but we will not be walked on. At the same time, we cannot hide from this. And that's what I see is happening when we deny these petitions, even to consider a development. It was hasty. It was vindictive. It was wrong. If you think about what Coalville needs to look like in the future, I envision a Coalville that it does change, and it has changed, but that changes in a way that we manage and that we are able to effectively grow without the sprawl that has plagued the rest of the county. That we stand up, that we make sure that we have a seat at the head of the table of all negotiations, and that we do so vigorously, and that we do so from a position of power, because we do have that power. In an overdeveloped county, and the resources and the space that we have, that's what people want. And it's what everybody who's moved in has wanted. But we can't have somebody move in and then say, oh, we're going to freeze it right now. Oh, we're going to stop any more development because this is our picture perfect postcard that we want to live in for the rest of our lives. Look, I was born here. I was raised here. I know the changes that we've lived through. I remember, criminy, I was born in the hospital that is now our library. I spent the Saturday nights growing up at the Loma Theater that is now Nina's. We've had businesses come and go. We've had residents come and go. But what we ultimately want is a city, is a town that respects its residents, that upholds the law and provides a service for everybody, regardless of who they are, what their name is, what position they have, and that we serve the best interests of Coalville. And that future Coalville is one that is capable of providing opportunities, not only for housing for young families so that they can raise their families here too, but also for jobs and for the right development that enhances all of our lives. We cannot bury our heads in the sand. We cannot just say no. The rules of the game have changed, and the state legislature has changed it precisely for the type of behavior that we've seen in the last few years. Landowners have rights too. So we have to find that balance. We have to find the balance between the landowners' rights and the citizens that are currently here so that it doesn't, number one, burden us with more of the fees and taxes that development brings. But number two, doesn't price us out of our own community. And that's a real risk. So my contention in this race is twofold. One, it is inappropriate and wrong to try and change the rules of the game and to assume or acquire more power just to get what you want. Play within the processes. Do what you have to do, but do it with respect to the government and the people. And I'm not seeing that right now. Secondly, we have to change our attitude from one of fear and one of trepidation to one of assertiveness and one of negotiation and one of, hey, we're going to make the best deals that we can for Coalville and for every resident that resides there, now and in the future. I want this to be a place where young families can thrive, where seniors can, on fixed incomes, don't have the threat of being priced out of the community that they lived in and loved their entire lives. Those are my priorities. With respect to the question of partisanship, you can read what I've written about that on my website, roryformayor.com, and also on Facebook. But I've been mulling this over for many years now, and especially in my role as a partisan actor. And that is that I would be happy to speak to anyone about what's our national policy on defense? What's the national policy on soft power instead of hard power? How do we deal with the economy and the Fed? How do we deal with making sure the regulations are correct but not overburdened? Those are issues on the national level that can be partisan. But at the local level, partisanship has no place. Potholes are not partisan. Sewer is not partisan. Development is not partisan. What we need is someone who will simply act in the best interest of the city and put their personal feelings aside. That's critical at this point, and that's the only promise I am making. That I will act in the best interest of Coalville. That I will listen to the residents of Coalville. I will work for the residents of Coalville. And that would be the priority. There is nothing partisan about that. It is just about doing the job that you're elected to do. And for too long now, we have had individuals who have personal agendas and who have disregarded the processes in place, and that cannot continue. And so I'm offering a clear choice, and I'm asking for your vote, because I believe Coalville has a strong future. I believe we have a position of power. I believe we can be assertive. I believe that we can achieve the things that make our lives better and that provides the services to the residents that a good, functioning, transparent government should provide. That's who I am. And that's what I promise. So I would appreciate your vote. Ballots come out on the 14th. Mail them in. Make sure that you get them in time. The rules have changed again. It's not about the postmark anymore. It is about being in the clerk's office by 8 p.m. on November 4th. So put them in the post office early, or drop them in the drop box on November 4th, or vote in person. But make sure your voice is heard. We need citizens that are engaged, that are active and involved, and vote and exercise their power. It's a sacred power, and I ask you for your vote. Thank you. I'm Rory Swensen, and I approve this message.